Have you ever wondered if reality is more flexible than it seems? What if the solid world you perceive isn't quite as fixed as you've been led to believe? Imagine for a moment that your consciousness, the very act of observing, literally shapes the fabric of reality itself. As mind-boggling as it sounds, quantum physics suggests exactly that through one of its most famous experiments, the double-slit experiment. The double-slit experiment is a foundational demonstration in quantum mechanics, illustrating that reality behaves differently based on observation. Scientists fire electrons, tiny particles of matter, through two parallel slits toward a screen. When unobserved, these electrons don't behave like particles. Instead, they form an interference pattern typically created by waves interacting. The electrons appear to exist in multiple states simultaneously, behaving like waves, moving through both slits at once. Yet, when scientists observe or measure the electrons going through the slits, the electrons suddenly behave differently. Rather than creating an interference pattern, they act as singular particles, choosing one slit and landing predictably on the screen. The mere act of observation collapses the wave-like nature into a defined particle state. Think about that. Just looking at reality changes how reality behaves. This is not theory. This is a repeatedly confirmed fact. So what does this remarkable quantum phenomenon mean for manifestation and your personal life? Quite simply, the double-slit experiment reveals a profound truth about your role in shaping your reality. Reality isn't purely external and predetermined. It is interactive, responsive, and deeply interconnected with your consciousness. Your thoughts, feelings, and perceptions don't merely reflect reality, they help create it. To grasp this fully, consider that every desire, dream, and goal exists in quantum potential. Just as electrons exist in a wave of probabilities, your potential futures exist simultaneously in a quantum field of infinite possibilities. What transforms a possibility into reality is observation, your focused attention, belief, and awareness. Think about your daily life. If you're constantly focused on negative outcomes, anticipating failure, or expecting disappointment, you're essentially observing reality through a lens that collapses possibilities into undesirable outcomes. Conversely, when you observe your life through the lens of gratitude, optimism, and expectation, you collapse positive potentialities into existence. Quantum physics doesn't just philosophically align with manifestation practices, it scientifically validates them. Visualization, affirmations, and meditation aren't just spiritual practices, they're quantum-level observations that actively shape reality. When you vividly visualize achieving a goal, you're essentially observing a future state into being. Your consciousness, by focusing on that reality, shifts the quantum wave function into a tangible experience. Skeptics might wonder if this is just wishful thinking or pseudoscience. But consider this. Countless quantum physicists and researchers, including pioneering figures like Werner Heisenberg and Niels Bohr, have acknowledged that consciousness undeniably influences quantum events. Physicist Max Planck, a founding father of quantum mechanics, famously said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness." Even Albert Einstein, who resisted quantum weirdness initially, recognized its implications when he referred to spooky action at a distance, which later became validated quantum entanglement. In modern times, experiments in quantum physics continue to confirm and expand these astonishing ideas. Researchers at prestigious institutions worldwide continue to validate the role of consciousness in shaping quantum reality. And while mainstream science continues its exploration cautiously, the implications are revolutionary. Your consciousness plays an active, participatory role in creating your life experience. Understanding this brings profound empowerment, but also immense responsibility. If your observation shapes reality, you become more accountable for what you observe and focus on in your life. Manifestation practices require discipline, commitment, and conscious intent. Quantum mechanics underscores why consistent, positive observation matters so much, because your reality responds directly to your persistent expectations. The most exciting aspect of the double-slit experiment and quantum physics as a whole is that it liberates you from old, limiting beliefs about fate, destiny, or external circumstances controlling your life. Reality isn't fixed. It's fluid, malleable, and ready to respond to your observation. You're no longer a passive spectator, you're an active creator. How can you apply this practically in your everyday life? Start by becoming acutely aware of your habitual thoughts, emotional states, and expectations. What realities are you consistently observing into existence? If negative patterns persist, remind yourself of the double-slit experiment. Simply observing differently can radically alter outcomes. Use visualization intentionally. Spend time each day clearly visualizing and emotionally experiencing your desired outcomes. Engage your imagination vividly, because imagination is the mental rehearsal for quantum observation. By vividly seeing and feeling your desires fulfilled, you're aligning your consciousness to that quantum state, collapsing it into reality. Gratitude plays a crucial role as well. Gratitude isn't merely polite appreciation. It's an active acknowledgement of the realities you've already successfully observed into existence. Gratitude amplifies your observational power, focusing your consciousness on abundance and possibilities rather than scarcity and limitations. Cultivate mindfulness and meditation practices. These techniques enhance your awareness, enabling you to intentionally observe your desired quantum potentials clearly. They help quiet distracting thoughts, enabling focused, intentional observation that directly influences quantum outcomes. Become selective about the information and energy you allow into your consciousness. Media, conversations, and environments continuously influence what you observe, and consequently, what manifests. Surround yourself with positive influences and consciously choose the narratives you absorb, ensuring they align with the reality you desire. Remain persistent and patient. Quantum reality isn't necessarily immediate. There's an unfolding process, a gradual shift as you consistently observe your desired outcomes. Consistency and trust in this process are crucial. Quantum observation isn't a one-time event. It's a sustained, intentional practice. Ultimately, the double-slit experiment isn't merely an abstract scientific curiosity. It is a profound invitation to rethink reality itself. You live in a participatory universe, responsive to your conscious observation. Manifestation isn't wishful thinking. It's a quantum practice grounded in scientific evidence. Embrace this truth, master your observations, and watch as your reality reshapes itself in incredible, inspiring ways. Now imagine the possibilities that lie ahead. Imagine living a life where you fully harness your quantum power, observing prosperity, joy, love, and fulfillment into reality every day. This potential exists, waiting only for your observation to collapse the wave of infinite possibility into tangible, joyful existence. Your consciousness isn't merely a passive witness, it's the creator of your reality. Understand, embrace, and live this quantum truth, and life itself becomes the canvas of your most magnificent creations.